How's it going?
All right. I was just entertaining the people. The people's is here. The people's is ready. Let me turn this down here.
Awesome.
I was telling them I think it's going to be one of those days where we just get crazy news because we had Senate confirmation hearing from Mark Wayne Mullen, Tulsi Gabbard, and Kash Patel.
Mm-hmm.
Their briefing in regards to Iran
Yes.
intelligence. The Feds just made Federal Reserve just made decisions. So I have a couple things here.
It's a lot.
Whew.
It's a lot to
Like
go
literally, it
over.
took me 5 minutes
Oh,
to
good grief.
pull up all this stuff.
It's a lot. A lot. I definitely want to do something from the Mark Wayne Mullen thing that's happening. All right.
Absolutely.
So, okay. All right. Awesome. Sauce. Okay, so guys, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. All right, before we even do our intro today, Hector and I have something that we want your opinion on. All right, we want your opinions. So, all right, I'm gonna do it. We're gonna see what happens, and you let us know what it is that you think about it. Okay. All
And
right.
you
If you
got to be
don't,
honest.
you have to be honest. All right, because we're split. Okay, and I will not tell you which way in which we are split, but we are split. All right, so let's see what happens here. Okay, we're gonna do it. Here you go. Want to hear something? Here you go. Can you hear Hector?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Turn it up. You're not rocking with the real.
I'll keep it there.
The fun and fact show.
Let's see what
Where the
people
laughs
think.
come quick and the facts come quicker. And remember, come alive or never. Come alive or never. Yeah. Come alive or never. Yeah. Welcome everybody. Yeah. Come alive or never. Welcome everybody to the spot where the truth flows. Little bit of laughter with the knowledge never dry. Every week, just a place to remember. Got a fun fact for you tonight. Something that'll open your mind. If the story sounds too outrageous, if we just laugh and say one line. Welcome to the Fun and Fact Show, where good vibes always flow. Laugh a little, learn a little more. Every try your friends play on the show. If the headlines sound wild, you know somebody gonna say it for sure. Come alive with never. Come alive with never. That's the line everybody knows. Welcome to the Fun and Fact Show. From the culture to the news and the stories untold, little pieces of knowledge worth more than gold. Every episode feel like a jam session. Facts and laughs in the same direction. We talk real life, but keep the vibe fun. Education mixed with a little bit of humor. If a rumor pop up, that don't sound clever. Host hit the mic, said it. Come alive or never. So tune in close, let the conversation grow. Fun facts, letting every blaze we go. If you like real energy and smart endeavors, then you already know. Got a fun fact for you tonight. Something that'll open your mind. If the story sounds too outrageous, squeeze a laugh and say what
I don't know which one you can tell if like who likes it or not.
Every time you trust the day on the show.
Probably what bothered her head.
Somebody gonna say it for sure. Come alive with never. That's the phrase everybody knows.
Okay, I do think it's a little too long.
Yeah.
See, I think like if it ends right here, we're good. So I'm gonna have to clip it and fade it out and see what happens. And maybe like this part right here can be like the outro part. If I can clip it, I can do this as the outro. Like at the end.
That makes sense.
Yeah. All right.
I can say we can talk over it anyway, but
There we go. Say something, Hector.
Booga.
Booga, booga, booga. No, I think it was just because of the music that it was. Okay, so Hector, let's do a poll. Control Q, or like to do the poll. Control Q, and let's see what the crowd thinks. All right, put a fade on the track. Okay, Matt, I could do that. right. So.
You talking about like the smiling frowny face one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna put it up. All right.
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Smiley
face if you dig it. Yeah. Frowny face if you don't.
Yep. All right.
Smiley face if you dig it. Frowny face if you don't.
Yep. And the poll is right over the chat bar, guys. So this is on both sides. Smiley face if you like it. Frowny if you didn't. Let's see what happens.
All right. Okay. I'll reserve what I have to say until it's done. 30 seconds. Okay. Looks like the people have spoken.
Yeah. 20 seconds left on my
20
end.
seconds. 20 seconds. The song that some of y'all didn't hear. If you didn't hear it, you didn't hear it. Don't vote. But if you heard it, then you
please vote.
All right.
Please
Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So I have 17 yays and 2 nays.
I have 28 yays and 1 nay. So
okay.
All right.
With that being said, I don't like it.
Hector doesn't like it. He doesn't like it.
I don't like it.
He doesn't like it.
It's one, I'm comparing it to what you guys didn't hear, the previous version, which I liked infinitely more.
I liked the previous version a lot more too. I did.
Yeah. And then I still feel like the pronunciations of her name is off.
But I think it's the first time that it's said, but then after that, it's like.
But it's just like it just sounds like people who don't know how to say her name are struggling, and it bothers the fuck out of me. Like I said, I'm.
Do you think we should play the previous version?
Huh?
You want to play the other version of the song?
We can do that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. I really like the previous version. Let me pull it up here. I have a lot of tabs open today for some reason.
Jesus. Yes. We'll get to the news in a second.
In a moment, guys.
This is the fun part. The fun part.
We're working out some business here.
Yeah. But y'all will hear it, and we'll see who agrees with me. I think most of you will actually. It's the last one was so much better, and then
I'm gonna agree with you.
Fucking lip about the pronunciation, bro. But yeah,
I gotta make sure I got the right one though, because they got a lot of stuff come through. I think that is the.
And the way Gmail collapses stuff be confusing me sometimes.
I can't stand it anymore. It's like, what are we doing? Can I just go to the beginning?
I had it earlier, and it was through my drive though. Let me see.
Is this one?
Let me see if I can get it. Because you guys should be able to hear Chrome from here.
Oh yeah, if you have it, please do it, because I don't want to open up the first one that was sent. I was like, what the?
Yeah, I think I got it right here.
Okay, bet.
I think I got it right here. January 27th. What? Oh, I'm on the wrong account. Yeah, I got it. So once I open it here, bam, you open 1217. And you guys should be able to... Wait, this is the same one, right?
I don't know. I want the new. I want the old one.
It's the goddamn name. Here we go.
Yeah. Turn it up. Now rocking with the rip. The fun fact show. Hey. Where the laughs come quick. And the facts come quicker. And remember, Kamala would never. Kamala would never. Welcome everybody to the spot where the truth flow. Little bit of laughter with the knowledge that we dropped. Oh, history, culture, politics, and the combo. Facts so fresh you might rewind the whole show. We break it down smooth, keep the energy tight. Little fun fact gems every episode night. If the story sound wild and the headline clever, host look at the mic, say Kamala would never. Ay. We keep it light, but the message still strong. Real conversations while the groove goes on. If you wanna learn something while vibing together, pull up every week, it's the place to remember. Got a fun fact for you tonight, something that'll open your mind. If the story sounds too outrageous, we just laugh and say one line.
Every single time you dance, I laugh.
Where the good vibes always
I like this one so much better.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that. But so exactly, it's weird. And then it was a bunch of lip service when we talked about it to the persons. He didn't have to redo a whole new one.
I think it was because he says because of the pronunciation of her name, but it was a whole thing. Excuse me. But like the chat is like they like that one better. I just wish that we could get that with Kamala, and then boom, it'll be fantastic. So I'm gonna give it one more go and see what happens, and then just go from there. Because like I like both, but the first one I like it. Exactly. That's what I told them, Matt. I literally told them, like the person who created it for us. I told him, I said, just tell them how to pronounce. You literally can hear it. That's not how you pronounce her name. So yeah, there's that.
So do you guys remember the DNC in 2024 when Kerry Washington got up with Harris' nieces with the pronunciation of her name? I sent that shit to him. Okay, we put the link in there. Sent that to him. Still gave us lip. I told Erica to cancel it. I'm not gonna lie, that irritated the hell out of me. It's like, what are we doing?
I'm trying to see it through though, because I think it's going to be awesome. Like the Fun and Fact Show. This is actually episode 17, Hector.
17, okay.
Yeah, episode 17. And with episode 17, all right, I think we need a theme song, bro. We need a theme song. Like, all right, I love this. I love doing Fun and Facts. It's like my reprieve in the middle of the week from not yelling at Trump supporters. So there's that. So,
I'm literally about to take that original one and I'm finna like butcher it myself and be like, hey, remember
Kamala would never.
And then I'm gonna have it continue. I swear to
something. We gotta do something, bro.
I'm about to do that my damn self. Be like, whatever.
Figure it out, because the first that one, the second one that was played for the crowd today, I like that one. I like that one a lot. All right, so ready to get into it?
Yes, and it's not bad. It's just I don't know. I'm picky, but yeah, we got show on the road.
Okay. All right. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you so very much for being here with us today for the Fun and Fact Show. I am Erica Shante on all platforms. All right. And I am as a mom, of course, a mom to the most awesome 12-year-old ever. And I'm also an aspiring political commentator. And this is...
I am Hector, just a dude who's also an aspiring political content creator who does content to encourage political literacy for the betterment of the United States and better yet, the world.
Awesome. And with that, this is the Fun and Fact Show where I am the fun and
I am the facts.
Awesome. So let's get this show on the road. Let's get started. What a hell of a week. What a week we have had. What a week. That's all I got. Oh yeah, so much news that has happened here. It's been a whirlwind. I really feel like we just did this yesterday. Like time is going by like that. Do you want to go up first? Because I know we had those hearings this morning. We still have Trump flip flopping ass bitch, as Beyonce would say. Yes, your gas prices are definitely higher. Definitely higher. Again, I paid $4.39 on Sunday, I believe it was, to fill up at Costco. I ain't gonna hold you. I can't let my car go under half. That's an 18-gallon tank. I can't keep living like that.
You have an 18-gallon tank?
Yeah, it's a Sorrento, but it's an SUV. So it's an 18-gallon tank. Yeah.
So I have it, and speaks in hybrid. It's 13 gallons, but it goes a long way.
Yeah, definitely.
I never understood that. The people have to get it can't go below half. Because like it's the same. I don't know.
Is it though? Because like I don't drive a lot, right? I don't drive a lot because I just back and forth to Bubba's school, sometimes appointments, grocery store, if that. And maybe like the once or twice, maybe 2, 3 times tops that I may go out with friends a month. Other than that, I don't drive a lot. I don't think I do. Pretty much everything is local, but I find myself like filling up maybe like truly like twice a month since I don't have an office to go into or anything like that. And so like twice a month, but I still don't it costs like fucking if I my memory serves me right, the last time gas was at like $5 a gallon, it cost me almost $100 to fill up. And when I tell you I was cussing at the pump, Hector, I was cussing at the pump.
I think that's a lot of Americans right now cussing at the pump. Granted, it's still not even, I guess, too crazy depending on your state. But then if you got diesel,
Ooh,
mm,
goddamn.
you're cooked,
Yeah.
absolutely cooked.
Mm.
But I do want to start off with this, not news, but kind of going along the line, the flow of the show that I run, Defend the Indefensible, Regret Your Vote. We have a Trump supporter kind of saying the quiet part out loud that I thought was hysterical. Let's go ahead and play this clip for you guys. Oh, let me get my volume right.
Trump. Let's take a listen to one more woman who we spoke with. If you could say
pile of
and you voted for him how many times?
3 times. That was my bad. Apparently, I'm an idiot.
Trump. Let's take a listen.
This is a Meet the Press.
At least she
He was
honest.
talking to Philadelphia voters about what's happening in Iran. And this lady said this with her full chest. And I kind of feel bad for laughing because there's always going to be a part of me that respects people who come clean and say it with their full chest, how they feel about their vote, how they feel about themselves, and how they did it. But I couldn't help but chuckle.
That was funny though.
Because what? I don't
Somebody-
know.
Somebody has to tell the truth. I mean, come on. Apparently, I'm a fucking idiot. Yes, you are. You know, I think it's a something to say about the human condition, like us simply as creatures, as beings, right? It's why do you have to experience it in order to learn, like to know that you made a mistake? Why isn't that you can't, listen to other people? Why do you have to feel it to know that it's real? Right? Like if
That
you
part.
if you tell me that, heartbreak really hurts, right? I'm gonna try not that's a bad one. That's a bad one. If you tell me that fire is hot, I ain't gonna have to touch it to know that it's hot. All right. Shit hot. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to feel that pain. I'm sorry. I almost went to therapy, y'all. I don't want to do that. I'm not gonna do that today.
Yeah,
Not
the
today, I
therapist,
won't.
y'all. Therapy is good.
Therapy is
healthy.
fantastic. I'm not doing it today.
No, it's a saying that's very prominent in like Caribbean culture. Obviously, it's different in everyone, but my parents used to say, "He who don't hear does feel," and it was typically their way of saying, "You don't listen to me, I'm gonna whoop your ass." But just in general, is a good life principle. Whereas you don't want to pay attention to the warnings that we've been given, and now here we are. And some of us, well, unfortunately, some of us didn't even make it here today. Please understand there are people that are gone because of the actions of this administration, whether in the United States or abroad. So I want to say that I want to say that I'm thankful to still be here, and I'm going to acknowledge the fact that we could have been in a vastly different country if we had just made the right decision come November 4th, 2024.
That is true. That is very
We do-
true. And
Do have another clip here from sorry. Go ahead.
I was about to say all because they didn't like that lady's laugh.
Mhm. Which can we just like objectively say Kamala Harris has one of the funniest freaking laughs out there.
I like
And
her
it's just
laugh.
the sheer joy in her face, like when she
Exactly.
does it. Like she's enjoying herself.
She's happy.
People got mad at that. How bitter do you have to be?
Exactly.
How bitter?
I can't help it that I'm happy and you lacking. Like what? Oh, and experience that joy. People get angry or like upset with your happiness, then by all means, that's a them problem. It is. That is seriously a them. There's a song about that. It's called "That's a Them Problem." I promise you. Go Google it.
Mm-hmm. In other news, in regards to the hearings I was referencing earlier, we have one with Senator Markwayne Mullen, the guy with a weird name, and he is currently the pick for DHS's new director. And Eric can get into more about all the problems with that. I'm sure some of you are very familiar with it, but I watched a little bit of it, and then I got some snippets from the events. And as I was mentioning earlier, he pulled the J.D. Vance Vice Presidential Debate 2024 Playbook 101. Appealing to bipartisanship is, oh, I'm here to do a job. I'm not here to serve any specific administration. I'm here to do this. I just want to revise this. I understand the threats and cuts and stuff, but we do have to streamline the process. All this like nice stuff that everyone can agree on, right? And I just want to remind everyone who we're talking to, who we're talking about, who we're dealing with. This is the man who is ready to throw hands in Congress.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm mouthing. He real life crazy as hell.
Yeah, he's nuts. He's nuts. He was willing to throw hands in Congress. This was a man who said, oh, basically, who hasn't cheated on his wife in response to the allegations made against Hegseth in his confirmation hearing last year. And he made a bunch of excuses for that and the mismanaging of the budgets that he saw over, the other accusations. He's not a good person. And this belief that he's going to be super effective is, I don't know, iffy at best. But this is what happened in this hearing, or at least a portion of it, when he was asked a question about putting DHS or ICE officers at.
If you are Secretary of Homeland Security, do you feel you have the authority to put uniformed officers at polling locations in 2026?
Ma'am, we said this in your office. The only reason why my officers would be there if there was a specific threat for them to be there, not for intimidation. And
So even though we didn't need it during World War II, we didn't need it during Vietnam. Homeland Security.
So, and if it did, it would be the demographic of people who already legally can't vote. If an ICE agent shows up to a polling location based off of a report of an individual being there, that is one thing. But this was in regards to stationing ICE agents at polling locations. It would just be a show of force. It would very much be an intimidation tactic, but it would be for nothing. The Trump administration keeps acting on allegations, keeps acting on fraudulent talking points of this mass amount of people who are allowed to vote when they shouldn't be, and they have yet to provide anything. We went over last week how the FBI dropped yet another case in Arizona, and that's been one of a few. We just keep doing the same thing, and no one seems to get the picture. This is stupid. That is a waste of taxpayer dollars to have them stationed there, and the fact that he couldn't rule it out is strange. And there's so much more from this hearing. It's a bunch of nonsense, but I don't. Will he be as bad as Kristi Noem?
Yes.
Maybe not.
No. Yes.
I think it depends in the like
Kristi Noem had the boot on her tongue. He has the boot down his throat. Hey, what? This guy, what is the name of that show with Danny McBride? Do you know who Danny McBride is?
Vaguely.
Oh my gosh. Let me show you Danny McBride. I like him. I think he's funny as all get out. Right? Yes, there you go. That's Danny McBride. This is who, for some reason, this is who Markwayne Mullen reminds me of. All right. And if you've ever seen his show, all right, it's Eastbound and Down. Eastbound and Down. All right. He is like a former like baseball player or something, and he like plays in different states. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't think I do have, let me see here. But he is something else. He is something else. All right. He is unhinged. he does not critically think. He's very impulsive, as we've seen. And like he got into it with Rand Paul today. So I'm trying to get that pulled up here. All right, but like it's a lot of it's pretty long. So there's that. So let's see if I can find it and then I'll play it for you because he said, I'm not a liar. Yes, you are a liar. You lie. So there's that. But we'll see here.
This is with the nominee, please
One
stand.
moment. Pause. There we go. Okay. But while we're talking about that, just in some Iran news, we do know that their defense minister and also their intelligence minister have been unalived, killed, according to Israel. They're reporting that the defense minister and the intelligence minister are gone, and it seems like what they're doing is like they're picking them off one by one. Also, I was told that Israel is using precision bombing in Lebanon to target Hezbollah officials, members there. And they're not just targeting them like in secluded places or anything of that nature. They're literally doing precision bombings on like apartment buildings, which is very concerning due to the risk of civilian casualties. There they shouldn't be, to me they shouldn't be bombing Lebanon anyways, but they are, and they're putting so many lives into danger. I do know that the most recent report that I saw showed that over 100 children have died in Lebanon due to these bombings. And what they're doing is basically like if there's any member of Hezbollah who is, let's say, like renting an apartment building, like an apartment or anything of that nature, um, they're striking it. It's scary. It's just very scary what's happening over there, and for no reason whatsoever. And that's why all of our allies are absolutely like, no, we want no parts of this. This is not our war. We didn't ask for any of this. Spain, the UK, France, even though France is like iffy because something about Macron I don't trust. Once I put my finger on it, I'll tell you all about it. But yeah. Let me see here. This video though, Hector, is 16 minutes long. So I'm gonna have to mute myself while you talk about something so I can find the good part.
Let me finish chewing first. I got you.
Oh, SpaghettiOs. Very much for joining us over here. We appreciate you all so very much for being with us here on the 17th episode of the Fun and Fact Show. If you missed it earlier, we are definitely trying to figure out what our theme song is going to be. All right, we have two options. We might go over it before the end of the show again. We'll see what happens here, just to give everyone a little gander. But with that being said, let's make sure that we are doing all of the good things. All right, if you're over on the TikTok hanging out with us, make sure you're tapping that screen, clearing out the gift goals, sharing and reposting. If you're over on the Tube and also on Twitch hanging out with us, make sure that you are liking the stream, following, and subscribing, and just doing all of the good things. And we appreciate you all so very much. And if you'd like to support Hector and I and keep this stream going, keep the live going, our links are in our bios. I'm Everything with Erica, and he is Hector Talks. Again, the links are in the bio. You can check us out there. And if you're over on the Tube, you can send the super chat. We just want to thank you all so very much again for joining us. And please know that everything is appreciated and most definitely accepted. All right. With that being said,
I will not be doing that.
I tried.
So I did want to. Were one of the first who went directly to Israel, and they called for direct talks to get security and stability in the region. Like they're getting hit bad, extremely bad, and of course they're not really being respected by Israel.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help
we
you
had
God.
some interesting statements made by previous Trump officials or former Trump officials. And
Senator
this is
Mullen,
going
you're
on the good old
recognized for your
realm of
opening
that
statement.
Christian
I think
nationalism.
before I
that
can
he's
start my
talking
opening
about.
statement, I have to address the
So while I
remarks that the
finish this
chairman
out the
made,
gun to my mouth before Erica
calling me a
yells
liar.
at me, let's play
Sir,
this
I think
clip.
there's everybody in
The
this room
former
knows
Trump administration
that
official,
I'm
his
very
name is
blunt
William
and direct to
Wolf.
the point.
I don't remember
And if I have
exact
something to
cabinet
say, I'll say it
position, but
directly
here
to
he
your
is
face.
preaching his good old
If
church
you
on
recall,
Sunday
back in
morning.
my
And he
house
talks
days,
about
we
where
actually
he
did have this
stands on
conversation because of
imposing
remarks that I've
restraint
made.
on other people.
You were in a room.
Clip here.
I
We should
simply
not
addressed
blink.
that
We
I
should
said
not
I could
hesitate
understand
to
because
tell
of the
people,
behavior
Later
you
that
not
you-
because
had.
we are so wise,
I can understand
not
why your
because
neighbor, by the
we
neighbor, did what
made
he
the
did.
rules of the world. We
As far
didn't.
as
We humbly submit to how God made the rules of the world, and we say this is how we should order our lives together. And frankly, yes, we are going to impose it upon you. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but this is good and right and just if it lines up with God's standards. And I am going to enforce my morality on you in as much as our morality is God's morality. And you should always check yourselves. Again, I'm not trying to puff you up. Check yourself. Do I believe what God believes? Am I defending what God says is good? And if it is, then you should have the courage to say, this is how we're going to run our town. This is how we're going to run our county. This is how we're going to run our state. And this is how we should run the United States of America by legislating the morality that we can find in the Bible. We should not.
Ooh. So we legislate the morality we can find in the Bible. So can you tell me where in the Bible does it talk about transgender people? We can start there. We get our grounds to legislate against the transgender community. $215 million spent in those elections, and only God knows what was spent afterwards to demonize them. And I'm curious as to what section in the Bible we can find that will speak on that. I'm curious as to what section in the Bible would support anti-abortion laws. I'm curious as to what section in the Bible imposes Christian nationalism on the world when it more so talks about, let's say, rendering to Caesar things that are Caesar. That you guys like to ignore that part. You cry about taxes, 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 and we can all have criticism of that. But I feel like even God himself or his son told you to pay your dues and occupy the world that you live in. We don't worry about those legislations. The fundamental issue with everything he just said was that if you don't even know the scriptures in the book that you're citing for your nationalism, for your authoritarianism, then what are we doing? What are we doing? Make it make sense. But this is the mindset of a large group of people in the Republican base. This is the mindset of a large group of people, a part of that 77 million who wanted everything that's happening. This is a large group of the people right now who are calling what's happening in Iran a holy war. So take that into consideration the next time you interact with them and what they believe their morality is founded on. I can tell you, whether real or not, it's not God.
Simply the weaponization of God. That's it. Weaponization of religion, per usual, coming from that group of people. That's what it is.
They should scare the shit out of people, especially Christians. That's the part that bothers me. Like, if you don't believe in any of it, you don't believe in any of it. But if you are a Christian, that should scare the shit out of you.
I think I think it would scare the shit out of those who really do follow Christianity. So there's that part. Have you ever had a random number FaceTime you? Try to FaceTime you?
Yes, I have.
What the hell just happened? That just happened. Like, who are you and why are you trying to FaceTime me, bro? Who are you?
Absurd.
What is happening? I don't know that number. Okay, all right. Let's go back to Danny McBride. I mean Mark Wayne Mullen. All right. This
Had a
guy.
package delivered.
Okay, let's see here. Boom. Oh wait,
You was
make
hating the other day, by the way. I caught that.
hating on what?
You was hating the other day.
When you
So
tuck
I put
your
in
hair?
the
When you
no.
tuck your hair behind your
That's
ear?
fucked up too.
Oh, okay.
So I put in the hot takes channel, my Discord. I said, package delivered is just the same.
Oh
is
my
just
God,
same
why do we have to
satisfaction
relive this?
as busting one, right?
Why do we have to
And
relive
she was
this?
hating on the statement. She
Oh
was
my
hating on the
God.
statement. You apparently never had a package that made you that happy, and it's okay. Carry on. Package, real man, don't do
There's
this.
so many ways to interpret that, friend. What are we doing? Why would you say that? Oh my gosh.
You know what I meant. You know what I meant.
Please allow me a moment.
I meant
You stop trying to explain it. Let's please.
package. Okay? Package. Not of the eggplant variety, god damn it.
I almost said something. I did, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna say it. I'm not. So there's that.
Choose peace.
I am choosing.
Parcel.
I'm choosing your piece.
Oh, my piece. My
Yes.
piece is wild. My piece is wild.
Good times. Look, I don't play this damn video. Y'all leave me alone. Okay, here we go. All right, so the video we're about to watch is Rand Paul, Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky. All right, basically confronting your boy, two first names, Mark Wayne, about his comments on the attack that Rand suffered at the hands of his neighbor. I don't care what nobody say. This ain't nothing but proving that the right is violent. I'm gonna say it. Y'all think I'm a unifier? No. All right, I'm gonna be divisive as a bad word on this one. The right is violent. Okay. And they always try to hide it under the guise of, well, I'm just telling the truth. A bullshit. There's a way to do and say things, and Mark Wayne has absolutely no tact, no decorum. This dude should not be in charge of stocking shelves. I'm sorry. This is a bad idea. And unfortunately, we have a Republican-controlled Senate who's going to approve him. But, man, I wouldn't trust this dude to fucking, I don't know, to put away my groceries. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know. He's not smart, guys. He's just really bad. Here we go.
A Trump-hating felon attacked me from behind in my yard. I was just straightening up from picking up a tree limb. I was wearing noise cancellation headphones. Never saw him coming. Running pell-mell down the hill. I was struck in the back. The force of the blow sent us through the air nearly 10 feet down the hill until his shoulder impaled me as we hit the ground. 6 of my ribs were broken. 3 of the ribs were completely separated, such that for weeks, the ends of the ribs would grind upon each other. My lung was damaged. For weeks, I could inhale, but not have the rib strength to exhale. I developed 2 pneumonias. The pain was such that I could only sit up in bed by tying a rope to the foot of the bed and pulling myself up. But even then, the pain was that of 1,000 knives. Over in the hospital, having the infection lavaged every 6 hours through a chest tube. Recently, Senator Mullen, if you have time to listen, you were confronted by constituents that were angry because you voted against my amendment to continue these welfare programs for refugees. You decided to transfer the blame. You told the media that I was a freaking snake and that you completely understood why I had been assaulted. I was shocked that you would justify and celebrate this violent assault that caused me so much pain and my family so much pain. I just wonder if someone who applauds violence against their political opponents is the right person to lead an agency that has struggled to accept limits to the proper use of force. You might argue you were mad and upset about being confronted by your constituents. But Senator Mullen, your constituents are justifiably upset with you. By now, most of America knows that the Somali welfare fraud in Minnesota stole over $9 billion. But instead of defending your vote, you took to continue the vote to continue these refugee welfare programs. You chose to lash out at me. You went on to brag that you already told me to my face that you completely understood and approved of the assault. Well, that's a lie. You got a chance today. You can either continue to lie or you can correct the record. You have never had the courage to look me in the eye and tell me that the assault was justified. So today you'll have your chance. Today I'll give you that chance to clear the record. Tell it to my face. If that's what you believe, tell it to me today. Tell the world why you believe I deserve to be assaulted from behind, have 6 ribs broken and a damaged lung. Tell me to my face why you think I deserved it. To set the proper example for ICE and Border Patrol agents.
I have to address the remarks the chairman made, calling me a liar. Sir, I think everybody in this room knows that I'm very blunt and direct to the point. And if I have something to say, I'll say it directly to your face. If you recall back, you were in a room. I simply addressed that. I said I could understand because of the behavior you were having, that I could understand why the neighbor did what he did. As far as my terms, the snake in the grass, sir, I work around this room to try to fix problems. I've worked with many people in this room. Seems like you fight Republicans more than you work with us. I did address those remarks. I did explain your gimmicks by the amendment you put forth. And as far as me saying that I invoke violence, I don't. I don't think anybody should be hit by surprise. I don't like that. But if I do have something to say, don't get along. However,
I mean, if you have an IQ above, she has respect.
Senate and the House and relevant committees, correct?
Yes.
And the law states that the national intelligence you provide to Congress, quote, should be timely, objective, and independent of political considerations, correct?
Yes.
And you noted in your opening statement you're here fulfilling a statutory responsibility and that your testimony, quote, represents the IC's assessment of threats,
That's right.
correct? That opening statement, as submitted to the committee in advance of this hearing, stated that as a result of last summer's airstrikes, quote, Iran's nuclear enrichment program was obliterated, end quote, correct?
That's right.
And is that in fact the assessment of the intelligence community?
Yes.
So the assessment of the intelligence community is that Iran's nuclear enrichment program was obliterated by last summer's airstrikes.
Yes.
And the opening statement you submitted to the committee last night also stated, quote, there has been no effort since then to try to rebuild their enrichment capability, end quote, correct?
That's right.
And that's the assessment of the intelligence community.
Yes.
The White House stated on March 1st of this year that this war was launched and was, quote, a military campaign to eliminate the imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime, end quote. That's a statement from the White House. Quote, the imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime. Was it the assessment of the intelligence community that there was an imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime?
The intelligence community assessed that Iran maintained the intention to rebuild and to continue to grow their nuclear enrichment capability.
Was it the assessment of the intelligence community that there was a, quote, imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime, yes or no?
Senator, the only person who can determine what is and is not an imminent threat is the president.
False.
and
This
he
is the
made that
worldwide, this is the
determination.
worldwide threats hearing where you present to Congress national intelligence, timely, objective, and independent of political considerations. You've stated today that the intelligence community's assessment is that Iran's nuclear enrichment program was obliterated and that, quote, there had been no efforts since then to try to rebuild their enrichment capability. Was it the intelligence community's assessment that nevertheless, despite this obliteration, there was a, quote, imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime? Yes or no?
It is not the intelligence community's responsibility to determine what is and is not an imminent threat.
Okay.
That is up to the
Here's the
president
problem.
based on a volume
No,
of
it is
information
precisely,
that he receives.
it is precisely your responsibility to determine what constitutes a threat to the United States. This is the worldwide threats hearing where, as you noted in your opening testimony, quote, you represent the IC's assessment of threats. You are here to represent the IC's assessment of threats. That's a quote from your own opening statement. And so my question is, as you're here to present the IC's assessment of threats, was it the assessment of the intelligence community that, as the White House claimed on March 1st, there was a, quote, imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime? Yes or no?
Once again, Senator, the intelligence community has provided the inputs that make up this annual threat assessment.
You won't answer the
It is the
question.
nature of the imminent threat that the president has to make that determination based on a collection and volume
You're here
of
to be
information and
timely.
intelligence that he is
You're here,
provided with.
you're here to be timely, objective, and independent of political considerations.
Exactly what I'm doing.
No, you're evading a question because to provide a candid response to the committee would contradict a statement from the White House.
So the intelligence committee that you would be a part of that would be used and sent over to the president to make that assessment of threats. Um, the intelligence was Israel.
And
The
that's why
intelligence was Israel.
exactly. And that kind of goes into Joe Kent's resignation letter that I know that we're going to go that you wanted to go over. But one of the things in his resignation letter is that he does mention basically lies told to the president of the United States by Israel. And what I need people to understand, because another mutual and I was speaking about this the other day, and it was getting confused by people, is that Zionism is not Judaism. Judaism is not Zionism. They are separate. All right. Zionism, all right, is a ideology that is pushed by the Israeli government. Judaism is a religion practiced by billions of people worldwide. Okay, there's a staunch difference between the two, and I need people to understand that. Please stop confusing the religion with the political ideology. They are not the same. All right, don't do it. All right, and I would say the same thing about Islam. All right, and the Islamic regime. They're not the same. They are different. We have to understand that religions that are based in peace get bastardized by man. All right, man comes in and just fucks a whole lot of stuff up. It's ridiculous. But with that being said, I want to watch this video by Kwame Ture. Well, it's a video of Kwame Ture. So I think this is very important because he actually breaks it down for us, and we go from there. So I'm going to pull that up here. Kwame Ture, as we know, is Stokely Carmichael. He was a Black Panther. And when he moved to Africa, he did change his name to Kwame Ture. He is a leader in the Pan-African movement, just an amazing, intelligent man. And his words are going to resonate here. He kind of breaks it down to like the founding, I should say, of Zionism. I've also heard other mutuals actually talk about this before, and I found it to be very, very, very interesting. I hope I don't have to recrop it again. Here we go. Apply. And let me see what it's looking like. It'll update in just a moment.
In the meantime, between guys, make sure we are doing all of the things. Welcome into episode 17. So you should absolutely be tapping the screen. Obviously, share out the live with your friends and family. Repost, add it to your story. Knock out everyone's respective gift goals and the best ways to keep this going as we come here faithfully every single Wednesday after 1:30 p.m. CST. Ways to keep that going is by showing all of your love, all of your support, engaging with the engagement, of course, supporting the links in the bio. Any donations that is put towards our links, whether it's through Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, or otherwise, we will read at the end of the live. Big W's to everyone who has support these streams while we're a few episodes in, and we're doing all kinds of things. We got the theme songs going now. We're working on the time. This is also dual streaming to YouTube. So if you want to see this go even further, do all the good things. Speaking of do all the good things, don't forget ericaeffect.com where you can get your tea.
Talk about the comma but never.
And you can always get every single one of my lines, my personal favorite being the comma would never line, on my shop. I still gotta do the domain thing.
You do.
I do.
I'm gonna bother you about that tomorrow.
She is.
Yes, I am. It's on my list. All right, let's go. Let's get into this video here.
Zionism is a political philosophy which has brought about the state of Israel, the so-called state of Israel. This political philosophy has nothing to do with religion. On the contrary, it seeks to confuse others and let them think that Zionism and Judaism is one and the same. I am a conscious African. I know properly my history. I know that Africa gave Judaism to the world. I know that the first Jews in the world were Africans. Not only do I know this, but I inform everyone who has doubts about it to read a book by Sigmund Freud entitled Moses and Monotheism as a beginning. Consequently, I know that Judaism and Zionism are not the same. Zionism had its first organizational expressions in 1897 in Basel, Switzerland, in Europe. Here, was a man by the name of Theodor Herzl, H-E-R-Z-L. He was the founder of Zionism. He said that he was going to find the state that God promised the Jews. Listen to this very carefully. This man, Herzl, was an atheist. He believed that there was no God. He said God did not exist. Now, how is it the man who believes that God does not exist is going to find a state that God promised to his chosen people? I'm telling you, this man is Satan in disguise. Zionism is a satanic movement. It is devil. It is imperialism. It is racist. It has gone and taken the lands of the Palestinian people and through terrorism has driven them out. And through terrorism, it maintains its power. And the United States of America, with over 6 million homeless, sends to Israel billions and billions and billions of dollars everywhere to bomb Palestinian people while homeless people are here and unemployed are here. Zionism is going to raise this war and make the people in America become clear to what it is and become anti-Zionist and stop the aid to Israel and use the money to take care of the homeless in this country.
We wish. Oh, I wish.
Sounds nice.
Sounds nice. And mind
Sounds
you,
real nice.
mind you, Kwame Ture passed in 1998. He passed in 1998. It's so, to me, it's always amazing how things from the past, like so decades ago, are still so relevant today. It's still so relevant. To me, he did not tell a lie. All right. And knowing and understanding the difference between Zionism and Judaism will have you understand the fact that the war that Israel has waged on Gaza, on the Palestinian people since 1947 is absolutely wrong. And that the United States is extremely complicit in every single facet of it. Every single facet. All right. And I'm going to be perfectly honest. Atonement will come.
One way or another.
I got it's going to come. So with that, I know Hector wanted to go over the letter. So we're going to go over Joe Kent's resignation letter. All right. And I do have thoughts on that one too.
Yes. I'm going to go ahead and put this up for you. Mind you, guys, Joe Kent isn't... He's not one of us. He's a staunch Republican, a Trump supporter.
Dude has ties to white nationalism too.
Yeah, he's not a good person. And you'll see throughout his letter that he's still complimenting this administration's actions. But it's Iran specifically that made him go, enough is enough.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and pull over. Oh, wrong photo. That is a good one.
Just a reminder. There's gas.
I need to find who's selling these.
Does that
things.
say told you so?
Trump did that. Hold
Oh,
on.
Trump did that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Bruh.
Yep. I'm going to be buying a couple of these and doing my due diligence. All righty. Let's get this letter here. I'm not going to be able to read it from the screen, but I will put it up there for you guys so you can read alongside me, and I'll pull it up on my computer end here. I found this letter to be fascinating. When did I download this?
I found it to be interesting also. But I'll say why afterwards.
Got you. All righty. Director of National Intelligence, National Counterterrorism Center. President Trump. After much reflection, I have decided to resign from my position as director of the National Counterterrorism Center, effective today. I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. I support the values and the foreign policies that you campaigned on in 2016, 2020, and 2024, which you enacted in your first term. Until June of 2025, you understood that the wars in the Middle East were a trap that robbed America of the precious lives of our patriots and depleted the wealth and prosperity of our nations. In your first administration, you understood better than any modern president how to decisively apply military power without getting us drawn into never-ending wars. You demonstrated this by unaliving Qasem Soleimani and defeating ISIS. Early in this administration, high-ranking Israeli officials and influential members of the American media deployed a misinformation campaign that wholly determined your America First platform and sowed pro-war sentiments to encourage a war with Iran. This echo chamber was used to deceive you into believing that Iran posed an imminent threat to the United States and that should you strike now, there was a clear path to a swift victory. This was a lie, and the same tactic the Israelis used to draw us into the disastrous Iraq war that cost our nation the lives of thousands of our best men and women. We cannot make this mistake again. As a veteran who deployed to combat 11 times, and as a Gold Star husband who lost my beloved wife Shannon in a war manufactured by Israel, I cannot support sending the next generation off to fight and die in a war that serves no benefit to the American people, nor justifies the cost of American lives. I pray that you will reflect upon what we are doing in Iran and who we are doing it for. The time for bold action is now. You can reverse course and chart a new path for our nation, or you can allow us to slip further towards decline and chaos. You hold the cards. It was an honor to serve in your administration and to serve our great nation. Joseph Kent. I want to quickly go over this line. That even with all of this knowledge that you know, he still had the nerve to say this. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Crap. Oh, it was a line about being deceived. It was a line about being deceived that just didn't sit right with me. All this, you still have the nerve to say that you were played, that you were deceived, that you're a victim of Israel. No, he's not.
He's complicit.
No, he's not.
He's an accomplice of Israel.
Very
Like,
much so.
yeah, every president in the United States history since Truman, all right, has been an accomplice of Israel. That's all that there is to it. And I mean, I have so many thoughts on this. We say we want to stop regimes from being in power. We want to stop people from harming other people. Yet we are in fact sending weapons to Israel. We are providing them with money. And what is it now, Hector? Is it over 50,000 or is it over 60,000? I can't recall the number right now. But I'm going to go with 50. Over 50,000 Palestinian people have been killed, murdered since October 7th of 2023. All right. And it's thousands, if not hundreds of thousands more since 1947. And they just keep encroaching on their land. They have the Gaza fucking Strip is what they have. That's it. And they stuff these people in here in these subpar conditions and then demonize them for simply existing. Just simply existing. And this guy right here, Joe Kent, he's trying to basically absolve Trump of any responsibility and paint Trump as some fucking infant, some child who doesn't know any better, right? Who's been taking advantage of the bit bad, Netanyahu. No, Trump is complicit in this. Because if Trump did have, if Trump didn't want what was happening, then he would ask questions. He would demand actual proof. He wouldn't just take their word from it. He likes what he's hearing and he's going along with it. That's all. And that's why we have fucking over 50,000 Palestinians dead. Jesus Christ. Also, he's straddling the fence, by the way. I just, that part too. He's playing both sides.
Very much is. Very much is. On one hand, hey, it's an indicator of things that we already knew. Sentiments that Trump supporters have been sharing, whether in private or a little bit more openly as of late, through anti-Semitism in some ways, but valid. At the
I was
end of the
thinking
day,
that. I didn't know if I want to call it anti-Semitic or not, but I do think his little resignation letter is it's got some anti-Semitism in there. It's like he's painting them as like the big bad Jewish people, and I don't like that narrative because it ain't about that.
I wasn't even speaking on his letter specifically, although it wouldn't surprise me. But it's more so when you hear the sentiments of people when they say Israel, 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 Israel. And again, this isn't new. Their influence in our politics hasn't been it's not surprising to anyone. And the average person, when you hear them talk about this, they'll reference the funding, they'll reference this, they'll reference that. And then they also seem to have this disdain towards people. We saw this anti-Semitism displayed on Kamala Harris and her husband, Doug Emhoff, who is a Jewish man, an individual who stood against the actions that took place in Gaza, but they still associated him with the regime. But then they didn't say anything about Elon Musk when he went over there time and time again to kiss the wall, to kiss the ring, when he made his comments and walked that shit almost immediately back when he lost all of his business dealings and contracts with several news networks and whatnot, where he said, I'm aspirationally Jewish. He went extra hard to kiss ass of Israel. And y'all didn't care about that. Y'all said, he's so smart, he's so brilliant, he got the richest man behind him, Trump W, blah, blah, blah. His anti-Semitism was blatantly ignored. And then y'all looked at Kamala Harris and Doug Emhoff, who had a somewhat of a solution, a better path for Palestinian lives. And then you said AIPAC, AIPAC. Make it make sense. All you need to do is be consistent. So yeah, very much all the sentiments towards Israel, separate from their government, which we can all agree is shit, is very much rooted in anti-Semitism when you really dig deeper.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly it. And then like Joe Kent, I mean, I think it is major for the counter terrorism director to step away from this and say, you know what, I can't be a part of this. It's just his resignation letter. I don't know why. It just gives to me not just cover his own ass, but also he's trying to cover Trump's ass too at the same time, because I still think that he is in fact loyal to Donald Trump. All right, he's not a sycophant in the sense where he cares more about Trump than he cares about himself, if we're gonna break it down. Because this dude, all right, definitely still supports Donald Trump. And this is the same guy who actually believed that, you know, January 6th was a peaceful protest.
A day of love.
A day of love. Yes. Yes, a day of love. Yeah. He also ran for political office. I think it was for the House in 2022. And he had endorsements from like the Proud Boys. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, typically during the show, I don't address the comments, but for some reason, I've had some very passionate chirpers this time around who've stuck here for some time and have something to say about every little comment that we make. So really quick address, and then I'm going to get back to the show because you're irrelevant. Fun fact. I don't know how Biden would have enriched Iran if he literally did not undo the sanctions Trump posed on Iran. And then if you put additional sanctions on them afterwards, I don't know how that enriches Iran. He kept same strong Trump sanctions because he recognized the value in them and keeping Iran hampered. And then you put additional ones following their attacks in 2024. I don't know. The math just isn't mathing there for me. Sounds like someone should have done some more reading before they got the chirping. Anti cases. Final thing I want to say in regards to Iran was brought up to me yesterday. Steve Witkoff, Trump's special envoy to the Middle East, had some interesting words that was used in a debate to say that Iran said and threatened the U.S. by saying that they had the ability or they had enough nuclear enrichment, uranium enrichment, to make 11 or 12 nuclear bombs.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Where'd
I
they get
said,
that from?
what? And he said, yeah, look it up. So I did what Trump supporters don't do. And I looked it up.
You looked it up? Where you
Sure
looked it up
did.
at, friend?
I looked it up on CBS News, who was one of the first to report it. And this was his words. And I'm going to go ahead and go through this with you guys. President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, said that Iran claimed it had enough enriched uranium to make 11 nuclear bombs before the U.S. and Israel launched an attack on the country over the weekend. Witkoff told Fox News' Sean Hannity on Monday that Iran's negotiators had said to him and Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, before the strikes that the country controlled roughly 460 kilograms of uranium at 60% enrichment. Witkoff said that the uranium could have been enriched to the weapons-grade level of 90% within a week to 10 days. How long have we been hearing that? Direct quote from Steve Witkoff. Both the Iranian negotiators said to us directly, with, no shame, that they controlled 460 kilograms of 60%, and they're aware that that could make 11 nuclear bombs, and that was the beginning of their negotiating stance, Witkoff told Fox News. The Wall Street Journal reported over the weekend that Iran's 3 main nuclear sites were believed to hold enough enriched uranium to fuel around 12 nuclear bombs. The Wall Street Journal reported early last year, citing a confidential United Nations report, that Iran had increased its stockpiles of highly enriched uranium, giving it enough to produce 6 nuclear weapons. By last summer, Iran could produce enough highly enriched uranium for 19 nuclear weapons within 3 months, the journal reported, citing the president of the Institute for Science and International Security, David Albright. The number of potential nuclear weapons available to Iran isn't exactly new. The head of the UN's nuclear watchdog, International Atomic Energy Agency Director General Rafael Grossi, used a similar number in an interview with the Associated Press in October. I do want to remind everyone, despite this nuclear enrichment, in part the ramping up of it came when Donald Trump passed an executive order in February of last year to increase even more sanctions on them and put no effort whatsoever towards making a deal. Again, expected, at least by me and other people who were looking at the things he ran off of. He was expected to make a fantastic deal because no other president can make deals like me. I have the biggest, begliest deals, okay? Didn't do that. Then we struck them because we believed that they had secured enough to make said bombs. And 60%, I remember this vividly, was cited over the summer of last year, which we obliterated. But then now they're come back and saying, oh yeah, we got it, we're good. But back to the language specifically, first and foremost, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. And this is my opinion. I can't substantiate this. This is my opinion. And it comes to everyone in this administration. Steve Witkoff is also the guy who joined the negotiation between the initial ceasefire deal that meant fuck all, the initial ceasefire deal with Israel and Hamas that took place last year in the first days of Trump's term. The one that started over the early 2024, or right in the summer, the one started under the Biden administration. Steve Witkoff went alongside them to finalize the deal, and then the Trump administration came out and say, see, once I got in office, we got a deal made. We sent one guy along and bam, we did it, completely ignoring the months of effort made by the previous administration. That guy, that's Steve Witkoff. So I say all that to say I don't fucking believe anything he says. But even if I'm to go with his words, okay, both the Iranian negotiators said to us directly with, no shame. I don't know, there's something about that starting off that just doesn't seem trustworthy to me, but okay, that they controlled 460 kilograms of 60%, and that they're aware that that could make 11 nuclear bombs. And that was the beginning of their negotiating stance. First and foremost, I will always fall back to the stance of, it's kind of hard for me to care about the Trump's administration's position in regards to their enrichment when they're the one who put us in this position. But secondly, them stating what they had, going over the numbers, is not a threat to the US. This isn't how it was presented to me, which was they opened up with, listen, we can do these bombs right now. We're going to use it for this. It's not how that went, especially considering if we follow up with the words of other officials, including the Iranian negotiators at the end of it. They said that they had successful talks. Meetings were supposed to pick up the following week, and they're on their way to making a deal. Trump just got pissy about ballistic missiles, which Iran has stood on the fact that they've only used it for defensive capabilities. And they have evidence to substantiate that. And then everything else that came with it. So we didn't have to be here. Those weak, wimpy ass Democratic presidents beforehand did not get us here. In fact, the one black one you guys can't keep, whose name y'all can't keep out of your mouth, had us safer in his term when they had it no more than 3%. So I find it fascinating that under Trump's,
I'm sorry, 3.67%.
3.67%. So I find it funny under Trump's 2 terms now, they seem to have numbers way above that.
Also,
and no one wants to talk about it.
Another thing that people have to be aware of, and I don't hear them talk about, and I know that a certain demographic of people don't want to talk about it, is that the last time prior to 2025 that Iran struck any U.S. military base was in January of 2020 in response to the assassination of General Soleimani. I hope I said his name correct. But yes, that is the last time that they struck our base. And this is where this was a base in Iraq, Al-Assad Air Force Base. And this is the one where many of the service members who were injured suffered traumatic brain injuries. What did Trump say about that, Hector? I know you would remember better than I would. About the people that suffered the traumatic brain injuries.
Oh, shoot. He said, give me a second. He said some crazy shit. I know what you're talking about. He said some wild shit, man. Here we go.
He called them headaches.
Yes. Yes.
He said that they were just suffering from headaches. I heard that they had headaches and a couple of other things.
Trump's comments came after a reporter in Milwaukee, Washington asked whether he should have been tougher on Iran after the nation launched ballistic missiles on Al-Assad Air Base in western Iraq in January 2020 during Trump's presidency. A couple thousand U.S. troops remained on an anti-ISIS mission at the Iraqi air base, one of the largest during the U.S. invasion. Quote, first of all, injured. What does injured mean? Injured means, you mean because they had a headache because the bombs never hit the fort? Oh, wow. If you were a truthful reporter, which you're not truthful. You're probably from ABC, ABC, they lost that lawsuit, even though it never went that far. It was a settlement over one word. You would tell the following. None of those very accurate missiles hit our fort. What? None of those okay, I'm sorry. They all hit outside and there was nobody hurt other than the sound was loud. And some people said that hurt, and I accept that. That's what? Wild. Some people said that hurt, and I accept that. I accept your headaches.
That's the one who cares about the military. But yeah, that's the last time prior to 2025 when they struck bases in response to the U.S. Bombing 3 of their nuclear facilities and obliterating them, apparently, supposedly, allegedly. There's that. I got to be careful. I forget I have contacts on. You cannot rub your eyes with contacts on.
I was just about to say, what is happening over there?
I don't know. But with that being said, yeah. Donald Trump has never kept the United States safe, especially not the United States military service members serving overseas. It's just not something that he is capable of doing. And now he has us all in an ill thought out war. All right. Someone make it make sense. Like, none of the reasons that Trump has given have made any sense. This is not about the liberation of the people, because if it was about the liberation of the people, then you'd be trying to get the people out of Iran. Yet they're still there and you're bombing and killing them. So there's that. Right. And what? Oh God, it's not about nukes. They don't have any nukes. They will, though. They will.
Oh, we guaranteed it.
Yeah.
We guaranteed it.
And what's crazy is that, like, I think everyone is aware of this, but Tulsi Gabbard in March of 2025 testified in front of the in front of the Congress, and she stated that they did not have nuclear weapons. She is a director of national intelligence. She would know this because that's her job. She said it in March. Hey, how is it, I always wonder, how is it that these people who are supposed to be so smart, so top ranking and whatnot, get in front of like the public and just tell this lie as if these things can't be fact checked?
Speaking of Tulsi Gabbard and nonsense.
What'd she do now?
I just want to remind everyone of her 2020 video.
Oh, have fun.
Why is that moved? Hold on, y'all. I found it quickly on Facebook, so I'm just like, I'll just play it there. but it's real. I promise you. I know Facebook is a questionable place. This one's real. This is her official page. Those of you who get your news from Facebook, how?
How
Facebook
do
is a
you?
crazy place, bro.
It's a cesspool.
I am still, well, I deleted mine, but I am still going back and forth with people who are citing Facebook articles on the vax, the jab. It's insane. But here we go. Get my volume on here.
President Trump promised us during his campaign to get the United States out of stupid wars.
Obviously, the war in Iraq was a big, fat mistake. We should have never been in Iraq. We have destabilized the Middle East. We will stop racing to topple foreign regimes that we know nothing about.
But he's on the brink of launching a very stupid and costly war with Iran. We have to stop President Trump from starting a war with Iran. The president is listening to his national security advisor, John Bolton, and other war hawks in his administration who have championed the war with Iraq in the past and who've been pushing for war with Iran for years.
Our goal should be regime change in Iran.
There is a viable opposition to the rule of the Ayatollahs. The only solution is to change the regime itself.
Bolton and others lied to us about the war in Iraq. They said that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction and that he was going to give them to al-Qaeda. Now, that war was devastating. Over 4,000 of my brothers and sisters in uniform were killed. Hundreds of thousands of Iraqi civilians killed. Trillions of our taxpayer dollars wasted. And al-Qaeda and ISIS were strengthened. But to this day, John Bolton says that that disastrous war in Iraq was the right decision.
I don't think there's any question that the decision to overthrow Saddam Hussein was the correct decision.
So now we're being lied to again, as Bolton and Trump push us closer and closer to a war with Iran that would prove far more costly and devastating than anything we experienced in Iraq. It would result in far more American troops being killed and injured, cause great suffering for the Iranian people and others in the region. It would exacerbate the refugee crisis in Europe and risk direct U.S. conflict with Russia, conflict that could easily lead to nuclear war. So join me in sending a strong message to Donald Trump. The U.S. must not go to war with Iran.
I ain't gonna hold you valid.
2020. What I find funny about all of these flip-floppers, whether they were staunch Democrats before or still Republican, is they act as if all that shit goes away. They act
Exactly.
as if, I feel like many of them didn't even try to scrub their past comments and whatnot. They just left it there as if we were just supposed to be like, we're not gonna pull this up. We're not gonna put it in your face. There was a clip that Just Money does. She shared on her live where he was asked. JD Vance was asked about his previous comments in regards to wars and Trump's actions, and he's like, "Oh well." Basically what he said, and I'm paraphrasing this because I don't remember the exact words, but basically what he says, well, those are under stupid presidents, but we now have a smart president, so I'm cool with it. I was like, you called him the stupid okay, never mind.
Call him the stupid president. What happened? When did he become smart? Hey, that's what I'm saying. Fucking bootlickers. Like, they'll do anything for power. Power corrupts all. That's all it is to it. That
See
is
if I can
it.
find the clip.
That is really it. And I know that I'm gonna be transitioning after this clip, unless you have something else you want to talk about. I'm gonna be transitioning to the
Well, I think one big
the ice warehouses.
Okay, yeah,
difference.
This last one, but it didn't get the full question. I don't like it when they do that. I hate it when they do that. But this was his answer.
You gonna clip it?
Well, I think one big difference, Phil, is that we have a smart president, whereas in the past we've had dumb presidents. And I trust President Trump to get the job done, to do a good job for the American people, and to make sure that the mistakes of the past aren't repeated. Absolutely.
That was his answer to the question. Again, Trump was the dumb president that he
I have a
learned from in
question.
the past.
Do you think?
Yes.
Wait, did this come after Trump was at the meeting and he talked about the debates? Remember when he talked about the debates and he talked about how both, like, he was talking about Walz and Vance's
This was
debate.
after.
This was after. That's payback.
Yes.
That's payback. You want to play that? You want to play the clip? Are you able to find the clip easily of Trump
I think I
saying
can.
basically calling JD Vance stupid?
Oh, I have it actually.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I do have it.
This is
It's,
payback.
it's gonna be in a video that I made. But yeah, I remember I covered this. I covered this in our in our Fun Facts video. I was doing the ad libs. Hold up. Let's go back here. Let's go back here. Oh, look at the algorithm showing my mag hunting video love. About fucking time. Okay, here we go.
Yay! I'm sorry, fan. Oh, I remember this video.
Mm-hmm. This is the quickest. I can pull it up here. Let me go back. There's a sound.
I watched JD destroy him in the Detention. I was saying, who was more incompetent, that man or my man? I had a man and he had a man. They were both incompetent.
Secretary. There we go.
They said they were both incompetent. All right, so JD just got some payback by calling the presidents dumb back in the day, like the previous president's dumb. He included Trump also, but now we have a smart president. When did he turn smart?
Sure,
He's still stupid. Sure, Jan. But yeah, but okay. So guys, before I get the Vyvanse crash, I want to go over some updates for you. All right, so we're all aware of alligator Alcatraz, right? We're all aware of that. It is the ICE detention center down in Florida that has basically had some human rights violation allegations put forth against it. I'm going to put this name out there. Alligator Alcatraz was basically built by Garda World Federal Services, LLC. You may know them as GWFS. All right. So that's Garda, Garda, World Federal Services, LLC. All right. They are a private security and risk management company. All right. One of the largest in the entire world, by the way. All right. And they are the company that is specifically designed to actually handle the sensitive and the top secret, so classified contracts of our government. All right. That's Garda World. I'll go into more about them in just a moment, but they are the ones who built Alligator Alcatraz. I want to go over some of the few like human rights violations that have been reported out of this detention facility, aka the concentration camp, if we're gonna keep it a buck. All right. They have something there called the box. All right. This is kind of like their solitary confinement deal that they have over there. It's a 2x2. All right. Or it can be a 4x4 metal cage that they keep outdoors. And they lock detainees into these boxes and they leave them outside for hours at a time and sometimes for a full day where they're exposed to the Florida heat. All right. The mosquitoes. All right. So the bugs in the area, the wildlife, whichever. All right. And they provide them with little to no water. It gets hot as hell in Florida, especially in the summertime and in the springtime. You know that for a fact. But that's what it's called. It's called the box. All right. Also, there's, of course, medical neglect at Alligator Alcatraz. And this actually goes for like many of the ICE facilities that we have here in this country, simply because they don't give a damn. They don't see the undocumented immigrants and migrants as human beings. So why do they even need medical care, right? When you give a man Tylenol when his face is swollen because of an infected toothache, and you give him Tylenol and tell him to sleep it off, you have a clear disregard for human life. You simply do not give a fuck. With that being said, all right, people are being denied medical care entirely. All right, there have been investigative reports that highlight the cases where the guards have ignored pleas for medication and medical attention, and also punishing other detainees, other people for helping their sick cellmates. I need us all to be able to process that. I do recall telling you all about the testimony, not testimony, but the information provided by a woman here in Phoenix, Arizona, who does volunteer work at the detention facility down in Eloy, Arizona. And she spoke about how a man was vomiting profusely because he had gone days without taking his high blood pressure medication. And a family member just so happened to be in the same concentration camp with him. And the family member rendered aid to their relative. And that family member was then placed in solitary confinement for assisting. So there's that. This is not stuff that isn't happening. This is happening. Additionally, what they have is the physical and the psychological abuse that is happening there. The constant shackling, that means keeping human beings, all right, in chains, all right, for hours at a time. And this is happening to them when they are outside in the primary, not outside, but outside of their primary holding area. Yeah. And we have, of course, unsanitary living conditions. People are experiencing the overflowing of toilets and the fecal matter, right, seeping into like the sleeping areas. Even the people there have reported that they have limited access to like bathrooms, so shower facilities, and they keep the lights on 24/7. That is torture to have lights on 24/7. That leads to sleep deprivation. That is torture. You can't do that to people, but they're doing it.
Some bright ass fucking lights too.
Exactly.
And
This is
it's
go ahead.
not this.
No.
That's all. I was just like, it's not shit. Like it's the damn.
It's fluorescent lights on
Yeah.
for 24/7, like the lights you have at in school. Could you imagine? For real, just a quick sidebar. When I was younger, I know I had social anxiety pretty bad when I was younger, but also I don't know if it was something wrong with my eyes, but I could not be under fluorescent lights for a long time because like my eyes would get blurry, they would water up, and it would be like the worst feeling in the entire world. Even if I was under fluorescent lights for like a good like freaking like 10, 15, 20 minutes, I couldn't do it. I was like, am I allergic to light? What the fuck is wrong with me? But yeah. So that's what they're doing to people though. They got guards, there's allegations of guards like punching people, so using violence, all right, telling the detainees that you can't hide. Hey, what the fuck are we doing here? All right. Also, people have gone missing. At Alligator Alcatraz, people have gone missing because of the simple fact that they do not have a formal tracking system there. People have been unable to locate their family members. Attorneys have not been able to find their clients. All right. Pretty much, Amnesty International has actually advised, they warn that the lack of transparency in regards to how they're tracking individuals and how many people are actually there, all right, could constitute enforced disappearance under international law, right? And with this, the most fucked up thing about this all is that the United States of America does not participate in the Rome Accords, so there's pretty much nothing that the International Criminal Court can do. Nothing. So that's what's happening at Alligator Alcatraz. And the reason why I'm telling you all this, guys, is because I know that you've been following it. The warehouse here in the city of Surprise, Arizona, the 418,000 square foot warehouse that they say will be a processing center. And with this processing center per the DHS, people will only be held there between 3 to 7 days. They're claiming that is their average before they are either deported or they are moved to a detention facility. All right. I'm calling fucking cap on that. I do not believe them at all. I think that they will be using these processing centers as concentration camps where they're going to be holding people for extended periods of time. I don't know what lie they're going to tell us yet, but be on the lookout because it soon will come. But guys, with that being said, Garda World Federal Services is the one who has acquired the 300. Let me make sure I get you the right number. They're the ones who have acquired the $313 million contract to retrofit the ICE concentration camp here in the city of Surprise. Yeah. Yeah, that is a part of the $38 billion that the federal government is spending in total to purchase and retrofit these warehouses all across the country. All across the country. Okay, they want to purchase, I believe, is upwards of about, I want to say about 26. It's either 24 or 26. Make sure it's 34 in total that they want to purchase. 16 of those actually are going to be what they call their processing centers, and the remaining number is so 18 is going to be, I think I did that math right, is going to be their warehouses. And when I say warehouses, I'm sorry, they're detention centers where they'll actually hold people. What we do know from an AP investigation into Dilley Detention Center down in Texas is, and that's one that's for families, is that there have been children who have been held in similar conditions as mentioned in at Alligator Alcatraz, especially when it comes to keeping the lights on 24/7. There have been children who have been held for more than 100 days. Children. Additionally, in regards to this facility, Rep. Paul Gosar, he's a Republican. I don't fuck with him because he is definitely MAGA to the day he unalives. He did send a questionnaire to the Department of Homeland Security on February 4th, and February 18th, Kristi Noem did respond, and one of the questions that he did ask was, is who's going to be housed here? And he was asking about the demographics of the people. Will it be children, women, men, co-ed? Who's going to be housed here? They did not answer the question. I want to show you how they answered the question, actually, because they didn't answer the question.
I was just reading up
Mhm.
on the Baker Detention Center. I believe that's near or one of the ones named Deportation Depot in Florida. And I was looking up the information in regards to postage.
Yeah.
Because you can still send mail to them. And it was saying that would be at the detainee's expense. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know how they'd be able to afford it. It does say they do not have any financial means. They can be given some at the government's expense. Don't expect the Trump administration to be paying for that. But I just thought to myself, how would they be able to afford any type of postage or whatnot to send letters and whatnot to their friends and family?
Mhm.
Not to mention the hours of operation that they have posted up here is between 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And despite that, we have numerous complaints from people's lawyers, families, otherwise, that say they have not been able to locate their family members in these centers, despite having all the information, and they just mysteriously disappear. We have to keep talking about the fact that these detainment centers, these concentration camps, are work camps, and they're trying to pay them pennies on the dollar to do some of these little things. It's just slavery.
It is.
It's
It is.
slavery.
They call it a volunteer work program. It's called the voluntary immigrant work program is what it's called. And it's bullshit because there have been reports throughout the years. This doesn't just start with the Trump administration. I want everyone to understand that. But there have been reports throughout the years that there are guards there in these detention facilities, all right, who, if the people do choose not to work because it's voluntary, but they choose not to work, all right, they are punished. They're denied food. They're denied outside time. They're placed in solitary confinement. They're harassed. They're beaten. This is happening. This is happening. So bullshit on the whole, this is voluntary nonsense, because it ain't. But this is here. Okay, so the question that he did ask, all right, this first question here is Rep Gosar asked the question, and I tried to bring it over for you all, but it's cropped, so we're going to do our best here. He said, what is the planned capacity of the proposed detention facility in Surprise, and what population, e.g. adult males, families, short-term detainees, is expected to be housed there? This is the response that they gave. The proposed site located in Surprise, Arizona is under consideration to serve as a 500 to 1,500 bed processing site. Processing sites serve primarily for intake and transfer of aliens who have been arrested and placed into removal proceedings. Average length of stay will generally be 3 to 7 days before aliens are transferred to a mega detention center for the remaining duration of their removal proceedings. ICE anticipates onboarding these facilities as part of our detention reengineering initiative by the end of fiscal year 2026. However, this is an active procurement and no final decision has been made on this facility. So you see how she didn't answer the question?
Mm-hmm.
They just scapegoated that.
A politician talk.
Yep. So are we going to have children and like teens being housed together with adults? And apparently, supposedly, right, Donald Trump is going after the violent criminals, right? But yet we do know that that's not what's happening. We know that's not what's happening. So are we going to have, is it going to be mixed age, mixed gender? What are we doing here? Who's going to be housed at these facilities? Additionally, also another thing that we have to take into consideration is that they are purchasing these warehouses like in almost every single state. And the most crazy thing is that who the hell is it that you're looking to detain? Who are you looking to detain?
Seriously.
I think we have to like think about these things, everyone. All right. This isn't for undocumented immigrants. It's not. These are for people who do not agree with the Trump administration. This is for people who have their citizenship and they want to denaturalize them. That's who this is for. And this company that, like, all of this shit here, that all these human rights violations at Durango and Alligator Alcatraz, all right, and at the Dilley Detention Center, there's a facility in California where they're housing pregnant teenage girls, right? And they're not giving them the medical care that they need, all right? And some of these girls do not go into detention pregnant. Think about that. They're not going into these facilities pregnant, but they're being transferred. These babies are being raped. I'm tired of this country pretending that it's good. This country is not good. It's not. It dehumanizes people at every single way that it can. And it takes the person being fucking victimized and it makes them the villain. What is happening? Trigger warning, my apologies to you all. All right? This is a grave matter that we cannot continue to ignore. And why do we keep ignoring it? What are we doing here? This country is not good, and we have to stop thinking that it is. There's no such thing as the benevolent good. The United States of America, all right, has never, ever been good to people that look like me, to the indigenous people, to brown people. It has never been good to us. This country has literally always been fascist towards us. We have always lived in an authoritarian state simply by the means of the fucking government. I wish people would understand that. Hector, take it away. I can't keep talking about this. I think I just got upset. It's too much. It's too fucking much. It's just too much.
And like you said, it's not something that has been, we can sit here and shit on Trump all we want, but this has been happening under several administrations. Not this aggressive in some fields, but this has been happening. I'm reading here a 2019 report that was done over a couple of years about the small percentage of women that they found to have been pregnant upon getting in, or found out they were pregnant upon getting in, and then the number of ones that they could not confirm that got pregnant there.
Exactly.
And this is one of the reasons why the stances from the left has ramped up in regards to ICE. This is why we went from, hey, Biden had the deportations and they focused on the violent criminals, to no, abolish ICE, because we have a long, well-documented history of what they've been doing. While I think that's never going to happen, it's going to be, at minimum, all the spotlight should be an aggressive, that's the word I'm looking for. There needs to be an aggressive restructuring at minimum. Will Democrats or Republicans get it done? But at minimum, the things that have taken place under Democratic and Republican administrations should not be a thing anymore.
That part.
Period.
And that's the thing. It's like, when you like, I can tell you, to be honest, when I started doing this, like I had I would say like I was a noob in regards to just how deep all of this actually was, and like the Democratic role in this, the Republican role in all of these things. When I started really getting into politics, and it's seriously like the more you learn about it all right, this is not a Republican or a Democrat issue. This is seriously an American government issue. This is American imperialism. All right, this is what our country was founded upon, white supremacy at play. All right, and before I go on another rant, I want people to understand something when it comes. Never mind, I'm not going to go there. It's Wednesday. Should I run that prompt today, Hector? I don't know. But bruh, I just want people to know that like this is an American government problem, a U.S. government issue, where for some reason or another, our government thinks that it is the good in the world while committing atrocities. Those two things cannot coexist together. Those two things cannot be true. Seriously, those are two things that cannot be true. But back to this company, Garda World. They are handling the retrofitting at the Surprise facility, and that these are the concerns. These are the concerns that a lot of Surprise City residents have with this. And one thing about this company is that like they deal in something called disaster capitalism. I want to make sure I got that right. Yeah, disaster capitalism. And if you never read the book, The Shock Doctrine, I definitely do recommend it. It's by Naomi Klein. It was published in 2007. And the Shock Doctrine, it basically goes over how like private companies and the government actually use crises like Katrina, the Iraq War, stock market crashes, and so on and so forth. All right, to like push through shit that we typically wouldn't go for. So to push through like free market policies that under any other normal circumstances we would reject. All right. Basically, they make money off of our pain. That's pretty much it. Like they will be able to push through the privatization of assets, like even water systems, electrical grids, even schools, to private corporations. So privatization, right? And then they can do deregulation. They can remove environmental protections, labor protections, things like that, right? Think about that. And they also do things like cut social spending. So our social benefit programs, like they'll make cuts to Medicaid or to SNAP benefits or to, daycare subsidies, things of that nature. All right. And they'll move that stuff to the private sector. So then that way you're paying for it. The government's no longer paying for it. You're paying for it. Right. And basically what happens is that the private company, once the privatization is complete, they come in because now this business is taking care of what the government used to take care of. All right. And what ends up happening is this business gets billion-dollar contracts from the government. All right. And what happens is that the government is paying this private company using your tax dollars that you were once benefiting from, because that's the revenue that the government uses to handle these social programs, to take care of these water systems, these electrical grids, these schools, like all of these things, all right, that we were once paying for so that we could benefit from, all right. We're no longer benefiting from them, but we're still paying for them because the government is giving these contracts to these private companies. So there's that. And
I thought Republicans were against all this subsidizing.
No,
Like, I
the
thought
fuck they
we were
aren't.
supposed to be like no money for nothing, independent,
Yes.
private.
If just, I'm using arbitrary numbers just as an example, guys, but if to feed hungry families costs $100 billion a year, right? And I can give this contractor $400 billion just this one time, then I can say that I'm going to benefit from that as a government, because I'm still going to be collecting the revenue from the citizens. All right. In about 5 years, well, I would say 8 years, I would have made my money back because I had to spend $4 for a program that cost me $100. All right. And in 8 years, I'll get that money back. I might get it back sooner if I can pass a tax hike. So there's that. There's that. So that's what it is. But then it's like, okay, so the government is saving this money, right? Because we're still paying, right? But the government is saving this money, but what is the money being fucking used for? Because governments, whether y'all know it or not, right? Like, hey, governments are not for profit. Governments are supposed to be for the benefit of the people. That is why we pay taxes. So you have to ask yourself, what benefit are you getting from the government? You pay taxes, don't you? What are you getting from the government?
I don't get it.
Exactly.
Math doesn't math.
It doesn't math. I think we went on some type. I know I did some tangents today, but I'm upset. I'm just really upset because like it bothers me so much, Hector, when I have to talk to people who think that the United States is just fucking beacon on the hill. No, we're not. No, we're not. The things that the country has done to people in the name of capitalism, the things that this country has done to people in the fucking name of even Christianity, the things that this country has done to people in the name of imperialism, the Monroe Doctrine, you cannot friggin' imagine. We took the indigenous people and lied to them, all right? Lied to them and forced them off of their land, all right? The good guys that people love to talk about, the Union, right? The William T. Sherman, a Union fucking general, killed the fucking buffalo to starve out the indigenous people so that they would leave their land, so that the United States could control the Dakotas and the Montana and all of that damn land over there. Killed off the buffalo. We had millions of buffalo roaming in the plains, and they killed them off for westward expansion. I need people to understand that. That's what happened. What the fuck are we doing here? And then, oh gosh, we don't want to talk about like what they did to Black people. The Tuskegee experiment, they injected syphilis into Black men, into Black servicemen. These were soldiers who volunteered for this. There were soldiers, there were sharecroppers who volunteered for this experiment. They were told that they were getting a cure. These men were injected with syphilis so that they could be studied to see how syphilis acted over its 3 phases. Do you know what happens? I think it's called a tertiary, the tertiary stage. So it's the 3rd phase of syphilis. You know what happens? Fucking dementia.
And then if they lash out, we call for their deaths.
Exactly.
You know, I find it hard to have conversations with Trump supporters when they say things like we're the like greatest country in the world, and then we have to keep asking them great by what standards? And then if we're
Let me
saying
fact check myself on the Tuskegee experiment because I know that they didn't give them the cure for it. I know that for a fact. They did not give them the cure. They were given placebos, but they did study them. This was not people who already had syphilis. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. You know, I think of today is the day that we actually respond to comments, Hector. Go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off, friend. My apologies
No,
for real.
some of them have been wild, but no, I was just gonna say if we're talking great by the standards of capitalism, then sure, we have a great capitalist system in terms of the function of capitalism, how effective it is, which is exactly why this country isn't great. It is the uncapped, unruly capitalism that makes this country one of the worst in that regard. Because a country with buku amounts of money, with so many people starving and suffering, and then we're trying to legislate against many bodies or groups we disagree with as well, that's not a great country to me. And then the immediate response is, oh, well, what can you do this somewhere else? Can you do this anywhere else? And like that aspect of privilege doesn't excuse it.
Correction.
I just get it. Yeah.
Correction. So for the Tuskegee experiment, I conflated it with another. For the Tuskegee experiment, they already had syphilis and they were given a placebo. And that's what happened there. And so they never received the cure. They never received the cure. However, the United States did intentionally inject Guatemalans with syphilis between 1946 and 1948. You can read this by historian Susan Reverby, and Dr. John Cutler was the lead researcher for both the Tuskegee experiment and the experiment that they did with the U.S. Public Health Service in Guatemala. What the hell is happening here? Whoa. It says here, Hector, it says nearly 700 men and women. They were prisoners, soldiers, and mental patients, it says here, were intentionally infected with syphilis. Hundreds more people were exposed to other sexually transmitted diseases as part of the study without their knowledge or consent. The purpose of the study was to determine whether penicillin could prevent, not just cure, syphilis infection. Some of those who became infected never received medical treatment.
And any conversation we have about paying for their sins is met with, oh, you're just lazy. Mind you, you did a video on this. The EEOC
Yeah.
is now trying to pave
reparations.
a path for you to
Fuck them.
I'm starting to think we need to revisit that and really do an official ass commercial.
Like, seriously. This is ridiculous.
Have you seen like Brett Cross's skits that he's been doing, little commercials?
Mm-mm.
He's posted a couple. The algorithm's been weird to him, but I tuned into his live where he played a few. He literally shaved his beard and just got that like little corn stash. to do some of
He
these
looks so
ridiculous ass
different.
commercials. That is funny, so different.
I was like, who
I
is
told that
that?
man. I told him straight up. I was like, "You look like a goddamn pig. I'm sorry. I'm
He look like
sorry."
he do like a cop. Like he's gonna pull us over and write a ticket or harass us. Like, Brett, please grow your facial hair back, friend. I beg. Please, we're begging.
But I was thinking about that. I was like, yeah, we should do a full blown commercial. We should. That should be hilarious. I did have one more story, and this was in regards to the interest rates. We did have a decision on that earlier, and no doubt Trump's going to do his fair share of complaining on said decision. But let's pull it up here. Jerome Powell, who I'm out here, the Trump administration be irritating me because they just have me out here defending people I really don't give a fuck about.
That part.
I really don't care. But at the same time, it's like you are legit treating these people unfairly. And regardless of where you stand politically or any kind of thing, I don't stand for that shit. It's getting under my skin. I don't like having to be this damn fair. I really don't.
Oh,
But I'm
and
not sure what
thank you to the young lady, and thank you to the young lady who's watching. All right, that made me go fact check. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate you because that is very important. You read the vibe of the room, so thank you very, very much. All right, so clarification, Tuskegee experiment, they were not purposely injected. They just weren't given the cure. They were given things like mineral vitamins and aspirin, and told that, they were being helped, that they just were doing a bad blood experiment. And in Guatemala, though, they did, in fact, purposely inject people with a sexually transmitted disease.
backflips off of balconies. Federal Open Market Committee voted 11-1 to keep the benchmark federal funds rate anchored in a range between 3.5 to 3.7%. The policymakers are navigating their way through higher than expected inflation readings, mixed signs on the labor market, and a war. In its post-meeting statement, the Fed made few changes to its view on the economy, with a slightly faster pace of growth and higher inflation projections for the full year. Yeah, we did that. 11-1 to keep the benchmark federal funds rate anchored in a range between 3.5 3.75. The rate sets overnight funding costs for banks, but influences a broad range of consumer and business borrowing. The committee, in its post-meeting statement, made few changes to its view on the economy. We read that. Despite the elevated uncertainty, officials again signaled they still expect a few rate cuts ahead. The closely watched dot plot, which reflect individual members' rate projections, pointed to one reduction this year and another in 2027, though the timing remains unclear. We do have this chart here. So we see that drop off. Obviously, this is the peak. This would be referencing the 2022-2023 time period. Of the 19 FOMC participants, 7 signaled they expected rates to stay unchanged this year, one more than the last update in December. While future years showed a fairly wide disbursement of forecasts, the median outlook is for an additional cut in 2027 before the funds rate steadies out around 3.1% for the long term. Stocks fell to session lows as the central bank's decision and comments from the Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell drew more attention to the threat of persistent inflation. So, despite all of this and this assessment being made, for right now, the rates are fine. But in the future, we can still see more cuts. They're still projecting cuts. Trump is still going to come out the woodworks and demonize and talk mad shit about Jerome Powell. He's still going to do it. He's still going to say he should cut it. The economy's doing amazing, blah, blah, blah. He's going to ignore his own actions in the Iran war and everything else just because he doesn't have better looking numbers to reflect on his economy. And unfortunately, unlike Erica, I can't remember her name, the BLS commissioner and other individuals, he doesn't just get to kick them out.
Nope.
Thankfully.
Nope.
And
Jerome Powell today said that he has no intention of leaving before his tenure is up. So he's staying until May of this year. He is staying until May of this year. Someone told me actually like last week sometime that the Fed was not going to increase the interest rate. And I believed them. And here we are, because it only makes sense. I think people got to understand that if we cut the interest rate, at this time, especially when things are so uncertain. And and that's the thing. Donald Trump does not realize how volatile he is making everything. He thinks that he's playing this awesome game where he can, like, break down the value of the dollar, all right, in order to build it back up. But sir, no, right, that's not what's working. I'm trying to tell you, ever since the pandemic, our economy has been just working differently. It's just been working differently because they were calling for a bubble, a housing bubble pop in like 2022, right? And I was so excited because I was so ready to buy. We didn't get a bubble pop. We just got like higher prices and higher interest rates in tandem together. So that was all. And now they're trying to say that the bubble is they were predicting prior to Trump going to war, right? They were predicting a bubble like this year or early 2027. Absolutely not going to happen. It's simply not going to happen. But I have to provide some more facts for you all. Because it's been mentioned. The Mississippi appendectomy was basically the forced and unaware sterilization of not just Black women, but also Indigenous women, Latino women, and also poor white women. What was happening in states across the in Mississippi, but also in other states along the South, is that if the doctor, right, thought that you had too many kids and you couldn't take care of your kids, all right, what they would do is they would sterilize you. They would perform a hysterectomy. If you're a woman, they would take your uterus. All right. They would perform a hysterectomy on you without your consent. This happened to Fannie Lou Hamer, this famous prolific civil rights icon. It happened to her. They forced one on her. So it happened. It happened, and it was basically a way for them to do population control in a sense and determine who they wanted to actually, procreate, who they wanted to have big families, so on and so forth. So that happened. Also, there's Henrietta Lacks with the HeLa gene, the HeLa cells. Basically, like, she's immortal because her cells have basically she had cervical cancer. They took her cells, all right, without her consent, and they've been using them in research ever since like 1950 something. I think the exact date is 1951. Yep. And what they do is that her cells have actually been used in many different vaccines, including polio and the C-19 vaccine. So there's that. And her family didn't know for decades. They didn't know. So we have that. And yeah, you can look into her. Her name is Henrietta Lacks. Henrietta Lacks. What else do we have that they've done? I mean, we can talk about how now, like, when it comes to medical, like when it comes to Black women, it's very important that if you are denied care, that you write it down. Should I check Discord?
Yeah. What were you saying?
Oh, I don't know anymore. I'm just giving out the facts on how this country just is evil.
And this is why I kind of like I get annoyed by these people, but I also understand. And there are people who go into really deep dives of the intricate details of everything this country's done in every single department, and then they just go fuck it. And while I understand the sentiments, obviously I would never recommend or support not voting, not participating, because if you understand this is a harmful system, it's an evil machine, then negating your role in mitigating that harm makes no sense to me. But shit gets dark, gets really dark, and it can send you spiraling. And that's why, outside of select things, I do my best not to read too much news. Funny enough, in our fields, I guess, but you have to, at some point, go, this is what my brain can take right now.
Yeah, the burden of knowledge is great.
Extremely.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I think it's a lot, but and I know we talk a lot about harm reduction, and a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like that. Oh, why do I have to keep voting for harm reduction? Because, bro, all right. Do we want to keep having stories like this told? All right. Do we want to keep seeing people killed on the streets? Like what? Are we addicted to trauma porn at this point? Hey, what are we doing? Do we want to keep seeing those things? No, I don't want to keep seeing those things. All right. So again, until people are truly ready for the revolution, all right, because liberation only comes through revolution. All right. So until people are truly ready for that shit, just fucking vote. Just vote. Hector says it a lot nicer than I do.
Not really. It's in my bio. Vote or shut the hell up.
Yeah.
I don't really have any sympathy for non-voters. I'm over the facts says it nicer than all of us. Facts don't matter. He goes about it, particularly with his do something to amazing work he's trying to do with that, where it's like, hey, I know you feel disenfranchised. I know you feel left out, like no one's hearing you, but blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, cool beans. Y'all know what the fuck is up. At this point, the issue for me is to look at this administration and go, oh, it doesn't matter any. It still doesn't matter. To look at this administration and go, Harris would have been the same. You're just fucking delusional. And I don't like the same energy I have for those delusional maggots. It doesn't, it's not exclusively just for like party affiliation. I can't stand stupid leftists. I can't stand stupid maggots. You're all harmful. You're all fucking us over. And enough is enough. That's just kind of where I'm at. And it took me 20 something years to get there. Well,
again, why do people
legal? But yeah,
why do people have to experience it to know that it's real? Experience it to know that it hurts, that it's painful, it's harmful, so on and so forth. Why do they have to experience? You don't have to experience death to know that there's no return. You know what I mean? Like you know that part. Why do you have to? Why did y'all want to experience fascism? Why y'all want to experience this shit, right? Yeah, those who don't learn must fail, exactly. But why? My question for that is always why. I don't know. I think it's a sign of intelligence when you can actually learn from other people's mistakes to know that, okay, that is not something that I want to do. When you can assess a situation and say, you know what, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to be a part of that. When you can do that, I think it's a sign of intelligence. And I'm just gonna leave that at there. No motherfuckers are stupid.
That's what I loved about my childhood. One of the few things I love about my childhood. But I grew up around a lot of older people. While it may not have been the most thrilling, fun video game childhood, I listened. I sat and listened to a lot of them. And they would tell you about their successes. They would tell you about their failures. They'll tell you about their regrets. And I was just there taking mental notes. Oh, that was stupid. Don't do that. Oh, that led to this. Probably should be cautious of that.
Exactly.
I think it's one of the great reasons why I am the way I am now. I'm an old soul, y'all. Don't let my age fool you. I'm really 47 in spirit. But I'll be back.
All right. Ooh, I get to be left alone with you all for a while. I'm the captain now. Just kidding. I've been the captain. Don't tell Hector I said that. Anywho, let's try to see what's happening in like some good news. Let's see, because it got heavy today. Sometimes that happens. I have emotions sometimes. It's crazy. I don't know where these emotions be coming from, but they just be happening. I got to work on it. Oh, and awesome news. Michael B. Jordan did win the Best Actor Oscar on Sunday, which is absolutely fantastic. Like, oh my gosh, Michael B. Jordan is an Oscar winner. All right. I ain't gonna hold y'all. The first thing that I thought about, and this is not sad, this is happy. I thought about that, like Chadwick Boseman would be so happy for him. Like, Chadwick Boseman was just an amazing, amazing human being. Like every single time he opened his mouth to speak, it was nothing but edification. He was just an amazing human being. He had a light, and as a Black man, one of the things that I appreciated about Chadwick Boseman is that he had the ability to show vulnerability and empathy, while still maintaining masculinity. And I say that because a lot of people think that a man cannot do that. Those two things, those three things, I should say, can't coexist at the same time, but yet they can. And Chadwick Boseman to me was just a really, really good exemplification of that. So shout out to Michael B. Jordan for winning the Oscar for Best Actor. He joins an extremely short list. I do know that Denzel has won. Denzel, of course, shout out to Denzel. Sidney Poitier was the first one first Black man to have a Best Actor Oscar. I believe Will Smith then won when he smacked that man that year. So Will Smith got one. So Michael B. Jordan is up there with the greats. He's up there with the greats, which is pretty freaking awesome. So shout out to him. All right, Will Smith does have an Oscar. Jamie Foxx got one for Ray. Yep, Jamie Foxx has an Oscar. Forrest Whitaker won a Best Actors Oscar. Now y'all got me looking at the list. Yep, so Sidney Poitier. All right, we got him for Best Actor. Denzel, all right, he won for Training Day. I ain't gonna hold y'all. He should not have won for Training Day. He should have won for Hurricane, but that's just me. When I was talking about people who won, I was talking about specifically like in the Best Actor category, to be specific. But yeah, Jamie Foxx for Ray. Yep. Forrest Whitaker did win for The Last King of Scotland. That is a really good friggin' movie, by the way. Just in case you aren't aware, that is a really good movie. All right, and let me see here. Yep, Will Smith did win for playing Serena's daddy in King Richard. Yep, that's really, really good. And then Michael B. Jordan won. All right, and we have Halle Berry won for Monsters Ball. Make me feel good. And I mean, other Black women have been nominated. Cynthia Erivo, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She's been nominated twice, but she hasn't won yet. Once for Harriet and another for Wicked, but she hasn't won. And in a supporting role for actors, Lou Gossett Jr., may he sleep in peace, won for Officer and a Gentleman in 82. Denzel has a Best Supporting Actor and a Best Actor Oscar. God damn it, Denzel. What haven't you done, sir? He won that for Glory. That's a really good movie. Cuba Gooding Jr. won for Show Me the Money. I went to the theater to see that. I remember that. I'm old. Jeez Louise. Also, shout out to Morgan Freeman, even though he be saying some really weird shit sometimes. Shout out to that old man. All right. He won supporting. Oh, Mahershala Ali. He won for Moonlight and Green Book, Best Supporting. So that's pretty cool. Let me see. Daniel Kaluuya. I hope I pronounced his name right. He won for Judas and the Black Messiah. I remember that. I like that. That's a really good movie too. Also, let me see here. So for Best Actress, we have Hattie McDaniel. She was the very first Black person to win an Oscar, by the way. So shout out to that Black woman. May she sleep in peace. That was 1939. She won for Gone in the Wind. Also, we have Whoopi Goldberg for her role as Oda Mae in Ghost. I like the movie Ghost, but tell me, all right? Whoopi should have won the Best Actress like Oscar for The Color Purple. She should have won that. She should have. I'm just going to say that right now. Also, Jennifer Hudson did win Best Supporting Actress for Dreamgirls. We all remember that because that was pretty awesome. Monique won for Precious, Best Supporting Actress in 2009 for Precious. Has anyone watched that movie, Precious, more than once? Anyone watched the movie Precious more than once? You watched that movie more than I can't watch that movie more than once. Oh my gosh. That and the for colored girls when the rainbow isn't that one that movie? I can't watch that man, those two movies, I watched those movies once and I said never the fuck again. I'm not watching those movies ever. No, I can't because they're very traumatic. I just cannot watch them. Who else? Octavia Spencer. I do like her. She won for The Help, which was cool. She gave that lady a shit pie. She gave that lady a shit pie. Said her shit tastes good, don't it? Lupita Nyong'o won for 12 Years a Slave for Best Supporting Actress. That's awesome. Viola Davis won for Fences. I like that movie. That is a good movie. It's a great play. I like Fences. All right. Denzel acted his ass off and so did Viola. That's a good movie. If you haven't seen Fences, do yourself a favor, please, and do watch. All right. Who else won? Regina King. Shout out to her. She won for If Bill Street Could Talk. I just love her. Ariana DeBose. I hope I said her name right. She won for West Side Story. Let's see here. Divine Joy Randolph won for The Holdovers in 2023 for Best Supporting Actress, which is cool. And who else do we have? Zoe Saldana won an Oscar. I didn't know that. Zoe Saldana won for Emilia Perez in 2024. Pretty cool. Awesome. But yeah, those would be the actor categories. So it's pretty awesome. The people I like, I did Chiwetel Ejiofor. When did he win? You put the name in all caps, but when did he win an Oscar? Because I went over all of them. He hasn't won an Oscar. He may have been nominated, but he didn't win. So there's that. He didn't win. Okay. What else do we have here? Also, that's good news. What else do we have? Oh, guys, I went to a concert on Monday. I'm just talking to you while Hector gets ready, right? That's all I'm doing is talking to you while Hector gets ready to do his thing. I went to a concert on Monday. I went to go see Miguel, which was pretty friggin' awesome. I can't play video because we're also streaming on the tube. So there's that. Look at Hector's back, guys. All right. But it was so much fun. It was a lot of fun. I love Miguel. He puts on a great show. He did play my song. He played Adorn, and I was like, oh my God. It was awesome. Oh, if you actually think that I watched the Oscars, you be fooling yourself. I did not watch I haven't watched an award show since like what 2013 BET Awards or something. I don't know. Just being honest. I do not watch award shows. I don't. But let me see what else. I went to the Miguel concert, which was pretty cool. He has a lot of music. That sounds like I'm saying something crazy. He has a lot of good music, guys. He does. And that was fun. And oh, I got a really cool video. It was like after the concert, there was a guy outside playing the trumpet, and then it was also like I don't know if a mariachi band was out there, but like it was like a fusion of cultures happening. And then like everybody started doing the cha-cha slide, and it was pretty fucking awesome. It was so many people. It was like the largest cha-cha slide I've ever seen. And it was so cool. I sent the video to Hector and Shauna, and it was just dope. It was super duper dope. So I thought that was cool. So that should be some good news. More good news is that after the Fun Fact Show, Hector Talks is going to be going live.
Yes, and I am good for that now. I just have to go make my shake. I got to maintain this damn regimen, y'all. I got to get thick again with 3 C's.
Thick again with 3 C's.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
All right. Okay. I believe you, friend. You do that. All right. You do that. You be up in the gym working on your fitness. Someone yesterday said that they were doing push-ups. Like they said they were doing 200 push-ups. It was Mr. Lloyd. Mr. Lloyd said he was doing 200 push-ups. And I was like, the only thing I'm lifting is this spoon because I'm eating Cocoa Pebbles.
Is that your favorite cereal?
Got to get my gains in. I love Cocoa Pebbles and Frosted Flakes.
So every time I heard you talk about cereal, it's been Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah, I love them. They're so good.
Cocoa Puffs. No, that's Puffs. That's
Yeah, I like Cocoa Pebbles. Bam, bam.
Okay, fair.
Okay. But all right. So you ready to close the juke joint and open yours?
Yeah, guys, y'all can go over to Erica's. Y'all can go over to Erica's. I'm literally about to end this. So go press that, click on her head, transfer over there. I'm literally just going to change the thing and go live. And we'll get into the indefensible episode.
And then I'm going to send you back over. I'm going to send you back over to Hector's. I'm just going to send you a raid.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
all.
That's the goal. All right. I'll be back. Hit that button and go over there. Do that thing. Why is my shit glitching now?
Do that. I do have a few thank yous that I want to read off. And I'm really I need a bigger desk thingy. I do. Thank you. Well, Hector left already, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for the 17th episode of the Fun and Facts Show. We appreciate you all so much for being here. All right. Where, I am the fun and I am the facts. That's how Hector talks. I am the facts. That's how you talk, y'all. That's how you talk. Since we're still on the tube and shit, I'm gonna keep it going. Why the fuck not? All right. Let me see something here. Read this off here. Ba-dum-bum. Okay. I can't see. I'm supposed to have on contacts. What's happening? Okay, let me see here. Shout out to Mr. Melvin for the $10 super chat. Mrs. Melvin said, Erica, it's called willful ignorance as well as generational racism and bigotry. It doesn't affect me. I'm good. You, Hector, and the rest of the Justice League just need to keep speaking truth to power. We'll definitely try to do so. Mr. Melvin, I appreciate you, love. Thank you so much. And also, Mr. Melvin sent 2 and said, I have a relative who's blind from the experiment. Oh my gosh, really? Oh my gosh. See, it's not that long ago. All right. That's what they always love to tell us. They always tell us, it was so long ago. Get over it. Get over it. I am wearing my contacts. I couldn't see for a moment. All right, I had to blink. But that's what they always tell us. Get over it. There's that. There's that. What are we can't get over something, right, that is still happening. Once you make it stop, then we can try to start the process of actually healing, of getting over it. So there's that part. Yes. Well, thank you, Lacey, for the $1 and the information about the Japanese internment camps. We definitely know about those. Thank you so very much. All right. And that was wrong also. They suspended habeas corpus for people. So we remember that part. But not for the mainland, but definitely in Hawaii. They suspended habeas corpus. I remember that part. Thank you. There was something else that I did see. I have to make sure. And thank you so much to Miss Carol for the $20. Miss Carol said, appreciate you. I appreciate you more, Miss Carol. Thank you so very much, love. Thank you. All right, guys. Let me know when Hector is up and we will go say hi to our friend. All right. We will go say hi to Hector and do all of the good things over there. All right. I guess since you all, why are you here, Hector? What the hell are you doing? I thought you were setting up. What's happening? I just see him in the chat. I don't know what's happening. I was going to change the background and everything. All right, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end it on the tube. Tubers, thank you so very much for joining us here tonight. All right. Can't see. I am so bad with like my darn going vision. All right. Tubers, be sure to check out Hector in just a moment. He will be there. I don't think he has his thingies. Well, actually, Tubers, you all can hang out. Who wants to hear the song again? Anybody want to hear the song again and see how that goes? I was going to change my background real quick and see if I can get a debate in and see what was going to happen. Because you know they lurking, right? No, K Rich, I did not get enough sleep. No, I did. I'm tired as all get out. I'm so sleepy. So sleepy. Oh, Jody, thank you for the baby dragon. Thank you. I appreciate you, babes. Thank you. Drop some hearts for Jody. Drop some hearts for everyone who sent some love today. I appreciate you all. Y'all are fantastic. Thank you so very much. All right. Let's see. Here is a song. Let's see what happens. And I'll try to find the other one.
Yeah. Turn it up. You're not rocking with the real. The fun and fact show. Where the laughs come quick and the facts come quicker. And remember, come alive with never. Come alive with never. Yeah. Come alive with never. Welcome everybody. Yeah. Welcome everybody to the spot where the truth flow. Little bit of laughter with the knowledge never dropped though. History, culture, politics, and the combo. Facts so fresh you might rewind the whole show. We break it down smooth.
I think this one can grow on Hector.
Fun fact gems every episode night.
It's kind of long though. I do have to clip it.
Look at the mic, say, come alive with never. We keep it light, but the message still strong. Real conversation while the groove goes on. If you want
hello.
And together pull up every week, just a place to remember. Got a fun fact for you tonight. Something that'll open your mind. If the story sounds too outrageous, we just laugh and say one line. Welcome to the Fun and Fact Show, where good vibes always flow. Laugh a little, learn a little more. Every track friends play on the show. If the headlines sound wild, you know somebody gonna say it for sure. Come alive with never. Come alive with never. That's the line everybody knows. Welcome to the Fun and Fact Show. From the culture to the news and the stories untold, little pieces of knowledge worth more than gold. Every episode feel like a jam session. Facts and laughs in the same direction. We talk real life, but keep the vibes fun. Education mixed with a little bit of humor. If a rumor pop up, that don't sound clever. Host hit the mic, said it. Come alive with never. So tune in close, let the conversation grow. Fun facts sliding every blaze we go.
See, it's kind of long.
Smart endeavors, then you already know. Got a fun fact for you tonight. Something that'll open your mind. If the story sounds too outrageous.
Yeah, it's kind of long though. So I think I gotta like cut it at some point. All right. But there's that one. All right. That's the one that I'm okay with. I like it. This is the one that both Hector and I really, really like. But the problem is that they messed up her name. So let's listen to this one.
Yeah. Turn it up. Now rocking with the real. The fun fact show. Hey. Where the laughs come quick. And the facts come quicker. And remember, Kamala would never. Kamala would never. Welcome everybody to the spot where the truth flow. Little bit of laughter with the knowledge that we drop though. History, culture, politics in the combo. Facts so fresh you might rewind the whole show. We break it down smooth, keep the energy tight. Little fun fact gems every episode night. If the story sound wild and the headline clever, host look at the mic, say Kamala would never. Ay. We keep it light, but the message still strong. Real conversations while the groove goes on. If you wanna learn something while vibing together, pull up every week, it's the place to remember. Got a fun fact for you tonight. Something that'll open your mind. If the story sounds too outrageous, we just laugh and say one line. Welcome to the Fun and Facts Show, where the good vibes always flow. Laugh a little, learn a little more every time you press play on the show. If the headlines sound wild, you know somebody gonna say it for sure. Kamala would never.
Every single time it says Kamala, I'm like, oh my God, stop it. Mate, say Kamala would never. Exactly. It's so cringe every single time, right? Yeah. Someone just told me when Hector is ready, and then boom. Hey, I'm gonna do something really quick, guys, and see what happens. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna change my my scene.